if you're following along the last video of this series, you saw me trying to find a solution to my issue with the diagonal line for the design we're going with right now. I actually ended up finding a solution. Essentially, what I ended up doing is changing the background styles that I had on the site header itself and adding a div to the actual code. This one was called header slant, and I named it with an ID. So to target that, I added this code here. The big difference from before was that I made it positioned absolute, created a new height, which is a bit taller than the last in the last video. Its overflow is set to hidden, and the big reason it's slanting is the transform property, which is using skew of the y-axis. That starts at 0. So if you think from left to right, there's a 0 to 100 scale. The actual transforming happens from the 0 first and not anywhere else. That essentially is right here on our screen. We made that in a -7 degree angle. So if we wanted to see that in perspective, shoot it to 7, it goes that way. So to follow the design, it kind of matches it a bit better. All right, so let's continue on down the page now that we have our header coded here and we figured out that diagonal crap. So I'm going to start by creating a new custom field section. So from that, we're going to go back here, have field groups. What shall I call it? This section is just going to be this image in Affinity. I have Affinity open here if you guys can see it. Inside of it is the image, the actual headline itself, and some more content. I think this will be kind of intro to what the lifestyle might be around for H2O. So let's add a new field group. Call this like landing page lifestyle call out, something like that. So this one, really all we need, I'm gonna keep the image hard coded, and we're gonna do just the title. So we'll call it lifestyle title. That will just be a text field, and we'll do lifestyle content, I guess we can call it. That will be a text area because I don't anticipate having anything more there. We will add no formatting like before, and that's going to display on our page template that is the landing page, just like before. So a neat thing about these groups is you can, if you want to anyway, you can order their appearance on the specific page they appear. The default is just to ascend. So I think by default, we'll see this one below the header custom fields we made before. So yeah, here it is. So let's go ahead and add the content that I have for now. We will probably tweak this quite a bit. So what fits your lifestyle? And we'll add this content. Cool. And if I wanted to get like really customized for the end user, we would probably have an image upload feature as well, so the user could change that image. But Jamie works pretty close with us. She's actually the sister to my partner Alyssa, so we should always probably have a pretty good relationship as far as that goes. So should be easy to update later on is what I'm getting at. So with that content there, we can go ahead and add it to our theme. Before I do that though, I want to create a few files that allow us to dive into our theme in a bit more of a organized manner. So here's our front page. Currently we're pulling our header, which is what we already have coded on the front end. This. So to get things transcending down the page, I want to add, basically what I like to do anyway is to add a module of PHP code, or HTML in this case, that just pulls in pieces as we need them. So for that we'll use a get template path, and you pass in the folder name. In this case it's template parts for this theme, and then you can actually suffix or prefix the content naming convention, which you see on all these files to the left in the template parts folder. What we'll do is name this file, what did we call that? Lifestyle, maybe. And you don't need to write PHP or anything as far as the file name, but you do need to do this inside this function. So my plan going forward for each section will be inside one of these containers, so to speak. So we'll create that file, content lifestyle.php. So inside here it can be, you know, whatever we want. I think before I had a bit of code, but I think I removed it for now. But what we'll probably end up doing is making like a section and giving it a unified class for each section. So we could just call this a section for now. I don't know. And then inside each we'll have well, we can name each section too. So we could call this lifestyle to pass another class in to target it easier. Inside we could do a div class row, and our columns will go inside that based on what content we want to display. So this next design, it's essentially the reverse of this header minus the buttons and obviously a background image. So what we can do is I'm going to create just like a half space column medium 6, collex 12. And again, these classes basically mean on the desktop view as we see it right now, it will be like half of our container width, and on smaller screen sizes it will go full width, just kind of like that. That's a terrible representation, I know, but we'll get there. So inside this, first we need to define our PHP custom field variables. Keep this open. We'll go back to our field groups, open that call out again, and grab these variables. Cool. So those are set. To use those, we can just go ahead and I think I'll do like an h3 tag and echo our title. And for the content, we'll do the same. I don't know why I'm writing an if statement. Let's give this a class of, you know what, really we don't, well, I will, just because it's easier. Lifestyle title, class lifestyle content. Cool. So this section should be pretty easy, I think. We'll get We've included it in our main template, which is our landing page template here. Then we've gotten the actual file, which has the section itself. So that should be included at this point, but something's not working. So what did I do? Bear with me here. Is get template path the right one? Is it something else? Oh, it's part. Typo. So it's get template part. Now it should work. Or not. Let's copy the code from page.php. This one here. Just double check that we're writing this right. Template parts, content, page. Oh, I forgot the comma. Wow, okay. Now, let's see if it works. It does. Awesome. So one thing I've noticed now is all these are positioned absolutely, so we need to go ahead and actually position the header at least with the position of relative, and probably the same height. Yeah, so then the div below it can live below and things get pushed down naturally. Okay, so at this point we can go and add a new SAS file. I like to do that for each section, honestly, because it's just easier to manage. So I'll call this one lifestyle, and we'll actually use that class too, since we added it on the actual section itself, if you recall, right here. And then the background of this is going to be a file we exported earlier in our assets folder. It is the Y image, I think, is what we called it. I'm going to go ahead and throw this in our optimizer. It's going to probably take a minute, but we will end up renaming this probably, but we'll do, it's coming from our assets, images, and let's call it lifestyle to keep things consistent. The PNG will do no repeat. I have a feeling we're going to do, I'm going to make this more explicit. Background image, background size will be cover. We'll see if that works. I'm not sure if it will. Inside this div, we can go ahead and target we can actually make this end by adding this class. So that right aligns, which is cool. That's built into our grid, which is super useful. I just noticed we're not inside of our container, so we need to actually add that as well. So we wrap everything in a container div. Make it all nice and neat. There we go. So obviously we need some padding and stuff, but we'll get there. It looked like our image was done, so let's actually rename that guy to lifestyle. And I'm going to just copy it and paste it into our theme directory under themes, assets, images. Let's see if it shows up. So far we got nothing. Maybe I need to save this. Okay. Let me double check. Oh, it would help if we included our style sheet called lifestyle into our landing page. So import lifestyle. But we're getting an error. It looks like there's no image at that location. So let's double check our work here. Why doesn't that work? I need to do this. Okay, it's there. I just realized I explicitly set the background image, so we can't do actually no repeat as a shorthand property. So we need to do background repeat, no repeat. And I'm also trying to figure out why it's being pushed. Is it because of the header? Div class, or we can just do an ID equals lifestyle I think we called the header slant, so we'll keep that going with this. It's kind of a funny thing to call it, but hey, whatever. So we'll bring that back in, paste this in here. I think we need to set a width or height. This also needs to be position absolute. And top 0, left 0, width. And because that's absolute, this should be relative, since we want it positioned inside that div. So what am I missing here? There's no height, so we need to set a height. What's the actual height of the image? We could go into our images, lifestyle. We're looking at 822. Wow. So if you can type. Okay, so there it is. It needs to go. Why is it so far from the top? Okay, so the height's throwing it off. Maybe we can toy with this a bit. Keep going, keep going. It's very close. It was a good guess. We're gonna have to adjust the degree on the header, but we'll get there. Actually, I can probably go up a little deeper with this for safety's sake, and we can position it so that's got the furthest Z index. We actually want it to be probably higher. Oh, no, we don't. Not the slant, but the actual content will need to be up. Ah, sorry for all the windows. That's not good either. I don't like that. I'm gonna make this Z index as well. So that part works. Unfortunately, when I scale it, it moves. I don't really understand why. Also looks coming off the page for some reason. I think we need to set a height on this guy, like just to see what happens. Okay, that's kind of better. Oh, it's still doing that. Darn. Okay, we'll have to work something out with that. One thing's for sure, that lemon image is kind of annoying me. Let's adjust that a bit. You do like -20. Move it up. So that's relative to everything there. Sorry for this. I'm just trying to make sure this stuff can scale. Okay, let's see what we can do. So we have the image there, container. It's positioned absolutely. This is down, we're inside of our primary div now, our main section. This is our lifestyle section, the container itself. I don't think that matters a whole lot. Okay, the height's what's throwing this one off. Right? What does this end up doing to it? That, okay. Lifestyle slant, we'll do that, and I think we'll do an overflow hidden. From there, let's make sure we kind of match our design. Bring this text down a bit. I'll probably just push the whole container. Maybe we'll wrap this div. Let's make a unified div for this stuff. We'll do it content. It's probably div overkill, I know, but I don't like to mess with the column classes. Only use those for layout purposes, and the rest will be stuff I can use to target specific things. So do that. Make all the colors white. See if that updated. It did. Let's copy these classes. Cool. So I'm gonna get rid of this margin, if I can spell, and wonder if I threw this div below this stuff, it would be better, because it's really annoying me. It doesn't make any difference. Okay, I might as well keep it at the top then. Thinking if I add padding to this, it actually would make more sense. Let's do like 5M, more than that, like 8, more than that, not that much. What is with this? Okay, lifestyle content has a huge margin for some reason. Padding top. Oh, because I said that. That might be why. Did I duplicate that class? Oh my god, I did. Don't do that. We'll do like wrap container. We'll do that. Wow. Okay. So, man, that's a lot of space, but I guess that's just kind of the way it is. Let's make that a bit, let's make that column width a bit smaller, like 5 maybe. Yeah, like that. This text is still appearing bold. I think we'll fix that as we go, but it's just not awesome yet. This image is bugging me. I don't know if I exported it that way or if it's just got some weird... On the left side, there's this little space of white that I don't understand. A couple pixels, right? Negative pixel. I don't know if that'll do much of anything. Looks like it might have. So I kind of want this to be underneath. If we do C index 2, and then make the header index like 10 or something. So it is below it now, but when I go this wide, it kind of messes up, and I think it's because I have a fixed height. So I suppose I can go into my header class or ID and increase this height as the screen size gets larger. I don't really like that idea, but it does work. Let me fix this skewing too while I'm at it. Let me refresh. Let's do -6. I don't know if you can do decimal points or not. It needs to be 7, like 0.32. Can it do that? Oh, okay. It can. So let's rescale. That looks pretty damn close. Right there. So I could essentially create a breakpoint at this width. It's pretty wide of a width, but it would probably be on a lot of monitors to where at like this height I can make the height of the header increase or decrease, or this decrease as well. Let me double check though. I'm just kind of doing some trial and error here. So this slant thing I could do so the height doesn't adjust that way. If we do maybe like a negative top, I mean that obviously would scoot it up, but being positioned so much a certain way, it's still gonna scale like that. Yeah, darn. Okay, that's kind of an interesting problem. Let me verify that this font size is what we have here. It looks like it's larger, so we'll go back to lifestyle, title, font size 32 pixels. And that's, what did we use in our variables or our typography? No, not there. Our base. I think we used this. So I'll try that, see if it's close. Doesn't look like it though. Yeah, it's considerably less. Wow. Add 2. That's huge. All right, let's make it a 2.0. That's pretty close. It's a little big. Maybe 1.8. This is annoying. Okay. So that's that section. The next video we'll continue down and keep it rolling.